I'm going to tell you a story about a rubbish dentist. Deary me. So I'll try and put the photos on of my teeth. Absolutely terrible. So this one here was already a palate. I had that tooth removed years ago. So I had one palate with a denture. And then yesterday I had that tooth removed and an immediate denture put back in. But what they did is they took my old denture and stuck another tooth on it. And I'm actually pretty disgusted with dentistry, because I asked to have all my teeth out and they refused, because they said no, they're healthy, so no. And I hate teeth, and I've always got teeth problems, so I said just take them all out and I'll pay you. And she said no, I'll only do the one tooth. So when I went the last time, she did an impression with the palate in, and I told her that the palate already was rubbish, because I'd already taken it to get fixed previously with a dental technician, and he did it wrong. So I cannot eat with it in. So anyway, I goes and get it done yesterday, and I've never known anything so ridiculous in my life. So here is the story of the dentist of 2021. Absolutely incredible, really. So I turns up at the dentist, and as I've said before, you have to phone them when you get there, and then they send somebody out to you, and then you go to the door and they do your temperature. You've got to put a mask on whether you like it or not, and get your hands sanitised. But now what they tell you to do is don't bring your handbags to the dentist. So I had to carry my purse because there was nowhere to put it. So I had my purse in my hand and I had a coat on. And last time I went, I didn't have to do this, but this time I did. So as I go in, she said, "Can you take your coat off?" And I went, right. And this was right at the entrance. So I took my coat off. And then she made me put my coat and my purse in a black bin liner, which she then put in a box in the reception. And I thought, well, that could get nicked. And then I was taken into the dentist room where you sit down and take your mask off. So if you stand up, there's COVID. If you sit down, there's not. So that grinds my gears, because it's just ridiculous, and they know that it doesn't make sense. Another thing she said is, we are no longer using water. You are not allowed to use the little sink next to the chair. So normally when they say spit and rinse, you do it in the little sink right next to the chair. But you're not allowed to do that anymore. So they gave me 2 cups. One had water and the other one was empty. And she said, when you want to use the cup, swig of the water, spit it out into the empty cup. And I started cracking jokes and saying, so where are you putting that then? And she just looked at me blank and she said, what do you mean? And I said, well, where are you putting that water that I spit in? And she went, well, it'll go down the sink. And I went, so why don't you just use the sink? Oh no, we're not allowed to use that sink. And I said, but you can use that one over there. Yeah, we can use that one over there, just not this one. So I thought, this is actually dark comedy. What's going on right now is a dark comedy. It's hilarious. I mean, look at all what you have to do and all the rules and everything. They're nonsensical. They're just ridiculous. But anyway, fine. So I sits there. She got the first... I'll do the whole story. So she got the swab and she numbed my gums, and then she did the injection. So that much she did fine. And then she left the room and came back and said, right, I'm going to take your tooth out now. So she got one plier and she's pulling it and pulling it and pulling it and nothing. And she said, oh, that's weird. Your tooth stuck in really hard. I went, yeah. And I knew this was going to happen, because you can tell by the dentist, if they're not confident and they can't even do an impression or anything right, then you know you can't really trust them with your teeth. So, but try and find a dentist that's ethical. Oh my God. So anyway, she couldn't get it out with the first plier. So she said, right, let's have a break. So she went out of the room and came back. She was probably watching the same YouTube videos I watch about dentistry. Comes back with another plier. Right, let's try that. couldn't get it out. And then she said, right, let me have another go. She gets another plier, and this time I heard this almighty crack, and the sound is like, oh, and it just cracked my tooth in half. And bear in mind, it's a front one, which is supposed to be easy to take out, because these only have one root. You know, the ones near to the back, some of them have 3 roots, and they can be, you know, like twisted and stuff, so they're the hardest teeth. That is an easy one. Couldn't get it out, could she? So I must have been 10-15 minutes with one tooth, and I started to give up the will to live, because I thought I'm going to end up having to do it myself at this rate. So she had another go, and then I heard this almighty crack, and she went, oh, I think it's coming, and then tug, and it's out. And I'm like, yay, thank God for that. And I says, thank Christ for anaesthetic, because can you imagine the pain that would have been if without it, painkillers. So anyway, she goes and gets the denture, and she brings it back, and she said, right, I'll just pop this in. So she puts it there, and she's pressing it up, won't go in. And I'm like, crap. So she said, I'll just file it a little bit. So she files it and files it, and kept on filing it because it wouldn't go in. And then eventually she just went, and it went in. The trouble is, it wouldn't come out. And a denture is supposed to just be able to lift in and out very easily, and not have any pressure put on it, you know. So she sends me home like that, and I was not happy, but I only had to pay, what, 39 quid, because I went and got a certificate from NHS, which you can get even if you work, by the way. So somebody told me, you know, you shouldn't be paying hundreds of pounds when you're only working part-time. Just go and get a, I think it's called a HC5 certificate or something like that. So I applied and got one. So I only pay NHS charge. So it was £39, so I have to look at it like that. But I comes home, and that, my bottom teeth are just hitting the palate at the back really badly, so I can't bite, and I can't close my mouth properly. So Paul came round, and I says to him, I need some help with my teeth. Could I get it out? Nope. It was just jammed on that side. It was just jammed in, and I started panicking, thinking, oh my God, if I keep tugging like this, it's going to snap. It's going to snap in half. So I had to wiggle it this way, wiggle it that way, wiggle it that way. And eventually I managed to get it out, but I didn't dare put it back in because it just kept getting jammed there. So Paul got a filing tool and started filing it and filing it, just a tiny bit at a time. And it must have took 10 attempts before it finally went in, but it still isn't right. Now I'm going to show you my teeth close up. They are crap. And bear in mind, the dentist's job is to make you look, well, as good as you could look with false teeth. Now, I don't know if we're going to blame the dentist or the dental technician, because the dentist does the impression and sends it off, and the technician then makes the false teeth. But look at this. Can you see that tooth is longer than the other teeth, and it's wider, and it doesn't look right. So when Paul comes home from work today, I'm going to tell him to shave it down so it's straight on par with that one there. It's just terrible, and it's so bad that I at the moment I don't take it out again. So it's still got to tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until it will fit in. But I cannot eat anything even remotely solid, because that tooth is banging onto the palate behind it and causing my bite to go really bad, and it's going to end up snapping the denture if I eat with it in. If I take the denture out, that tooth on that side bangs on that tooth at the front, so that's still left. And you see, if I could just take these out, which I can't. Oh, I can't take it out. It's just jammed. I'm going to have to force that. But I've only got one tooth left there. And then a gap there and a gap there. So I look like, I don't know, like my fisher wife, a fisherman's wife in the days before dentures. It's hilarious. But you see, I'm not a self-conscious person, so it doesn't really bother me. I find it quite funny. But if you're single, you're not going to get no one looking like that. Bloody hell. But yeah, so I need to file that down, and then that tooth to get it in. But this has actually inspired me. Now, it's a funny thing, when things go wrong, you can either walk away and go, oh God, oh my God, and really feel self-conscious, or you can say, actually, do you know, your bad workmanship has actually inspired me to make my own denture. So watch out for that one, because me and Paul are going to make my own denture from scratch using proper dental equipment and dental material. So that's my next job, is going to be doing that. And we're going to make sure that the denture that I make and Paul makes, and it'll be mostly him to be fair, it will be good enough to eat with. So I won't have to take it out to eat. Can you imagine, right? I go on a date, right? Let's just say I go on a date, right? And we get there and he goes, can I get you something to eat? And I'm starving. And I'm like, yeah, go on then. I'll have a panini. And the waitress comes out. And I'm sat there. And then suddenly I think, oh, crap, I forgot. I have to take my teeth out to eat this. And then, can you imagine, right? I either try and eat with it in. So I'm going like a little deformed rabbit, like that, try to eat it. Or I have to take it out. And I'm left with one tooth in the middle. And can you imagine somebody's face? They're sat opposite me going, oh. And then they'll be thinking, what else is fake about you? Is it your knockers and your gut and everything else? And I'll be like, you just don't know what you're going to get, do you? And it's going to be really bad eating out, isn't it? Think about that. I mean, God, 2 big gaps. It's hilarious. I need to know somebody already to take me on, so they know all that's wrong with me, because I'm like a broken down car that you're trying to fix. So it's got bits hanging off here, rusty parts there, right? So it's got to be somebody who likes bangers and who can cope with bits dropping off all the time. So that is the story for now. Today I was starving hungry and I thought, what am I supposed to eat? So for breakfast I always have a smoothie anyway, but for dinner what I decided to do was get avocado and some tomatoes and puree them in the smoothie maker. And then I did some hard boiled eggs and did the same with them. And then I just had a baby plate of like pureed food, and I'm like, it's filled me up and it was nice, but that is not how I want to be eating for the rest of my life. You know, I want to be able to chew and eat proper food. So that's where we are for now. So I'll put this one on today. It's Saturday today. I was in bed most of yesterday because when I have Novocaine, which is the injection in the mouth, it always knocks me out flat. So I can't be a junkie, because if I did drugs, I'd just be in bed all day, all the time. So I can't do them. And they're useless to me because they just make me sleep. So yeah, it just knocked me out. So yesterday was just Netflix day. And I think I watched about 5 films, but only 10 minutes of each because I kept nodding off. But today I feel absolutely fine. There's no pain after the first day. I've had no painkillers because I've got a high pain threshold anyway. So no, I had a toothache yesterday after the tooth came out, but it wasn't unbelievably painful, so I could handle that. So today, normal. So I've got a few jobs to do on my days off, but one of them I cannot do because I thought it was going to be easy, and it isn't. And that is my 2-way window mirror glass, which is a film that you have to put on the inside of the window, and it reflects on the outside, but on the inside you can see out during the daytime. But you need special tools, and I've just realised that I've got all the silly hooks on the windows and everything, and it'd have to all be taken off. So That is not a little job. So that's today. I'll just put this one on now. You can have a laugh. I'll put them pictures on and my teeth will know. Oh my god. Yeah. So anyway, I hope you're having a nice day. You can have a laugh at my little teggy pegs. And that big one there looks like Bugs Bunny. I don't know what the technician was thinking, honest to God. I think he just doesn't like me. He probably sat there and thought, I was the one who fixed your teeth last time and you told me I was crap, so I'm going to really do it bad this time. So, but you've inspired me to make my own. And if I can make my own denture and do a really good job, and I'm doing this so you can see the difference when my own is done, you'll see the difference between this and that. And that's why I'm doing this video now. So if I do a better job than a technician, I'm going to do it for a living. I'm going to fix people's dentures for a living. Well, I'm not really, but you know what I mean. I can fix my own and save hundreds, even thousands of pounds over the years. So, bye for now.